Welcome everyone to our newest video. We're the Dimitrov-Boulay piano duo and my name is Dimitri Dimitrov.
My name is Alvera Boulay.
Today we're going to talk about pedaling, but not about the technique of pedaling, the exact technique how you should pedal. No, we're going to talk about something a little bit more specific. So we're not going to talk about how to lift your foot and exactly when you have to lift your foot. That's for another video that we're going to make anyway. But today we're going to talk about something different. Usually when we talk about pedaling, about standard pedaling, you would have pedal on every beat of every bar, or you would have a pedal once in every bar. So it's going to be very simple to do. But today we want to talk about something different. We want to talk about pedaling that's a little bit more specific, which would mean that the pedal can come on the first beat, but maybe not on the second. Or the pedal can come only on the third beat. That makes things much more complicated, and we see a lot of people having actually trouble with that. So we thought we'd shoot a video.
What we often see is that one student actually have a proper technique already, and that's what we mean with the basics, you know, when to lift, how to lift, etc. They don't actually go any further. They keep doing a standard kind of pedal. But pedal is actually a great tool that you can use to make your piece much more interesting, to show different kind of characters. So in the video, you're gonna take a look at how we choose pedal. So I'm gonna choose a piece and I'm gonna explain my pedaling process to you. And after that, we're gonna give you a nice tip on how to practice pedal. So how to train this independence of your foot and of your hands. So I'm going to give you an example today with this small piece by Hugo Wolf. Now this is called Schlummerlied, which means lullaby. And here's how it sounds. So I think you get the atmosphere. You know, that's also very important in deciding pedal. What is the atmosphere of the piece? Another very important thing to know before you decide your pedal is what style is the music in. Is it classical style? Then you would always have to realize that you want less pedal, you want more clear, you want more clarity in your playing. So you want less pedal and more changing also of the pedal. But if it's romantic, you usually want more pedal more often, and just a bigger range of sound. So this is actually a romantic piece, but it's a very small piece. It's a very delicate piece. It's a lullaby. I personally wouldn't want too much pedal. I don't want to drown it in pedal. After that, so we've checked the style, we've checked the atmosphere of the piece. Now we're going to check the structure. So what is the structure actually? It begins with 2 8 notes, which are a second apart, which means is that if we do this in one pedal, we're going to get mixing seconds, which I don't like. If it's a very romantic piece, it's very thickly written, it's very quick, you can definitely play this in one pedal, but that's not the case of this piece. We want these seconds to be clear. Now, of course, there's many different options, but I'm going to offer you a suggestion for a pedal to try out. I'm going to suggest no pedal on the first beat, then pedal on the second beat, and then changing on the third beat, and then again, no pedal on the first beat. Pedal on the second beat, changing on the third beat, and no pedal on the first beat. Second, change, no, second, change. So that's going to be our idea for today. That's going to be our pedaling idea. And this kind of pedal is a very common occurrence in the classical style. So even though this isn't classical, we're going to do it more with a classical approach. It's a very useful technique to be able to play. Now the first thing I want you to do is write it down. That's the absolute most important thing. You decided a pedal, write it down. I would personally advise you to write it everywhere, because a lot of times my students think, oh, I'll write it in the first 2 bars and then I'll remember it. Well, I personally wouldn't do that. Just, you know, take a few minutes, write it down everywhere. And then after you've written it down, let's get to the tip of practicing it. Of course, you can just practice it normally, and I would absolutely encourage you to do it. But here's a little special tip. We're gonna practice it with separate hands. And what does this mean? This means that you will be changing sometimes, even though you might not be playing with your hand. So I'm going to demonstrate that. Let's take our separate right hand and not play with the left hand. And we're going to do the exact same pedal that we just practiced with both hands. So that means no pedal on the first beat, pedal, change, and remember, no pedal on this beat, but on the second beat, now pedal, even though I'm not playing anything. I'm putting my foot down, and then on the third beat, I'm changing, and then no, pedal, pedal, and again no, remember that, and on the second beat, put your foot down, and now on the third beat, change it. So this, of course, seems very easy when I'm demonstrating it to you, but if you try it, you actually really need to know the pedal very well. Otherwise, you're gonna, put pedal on the first beat or forget to put pedal on the second beat. These are all mistakes that I see students making. And this really trains the independence of your foot and of your hands. If you're liking the video so far, by the way, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel because that really will help us out.
Yeah. Let me do the left hand. Hey. Yeah, it was my turn. So let's move on to the left hand because it's the same thing, and I just wanted to say one more thing about metronome. So you're going to practice the left hand absolutely the same way. You're going, like Elvira just explained, you're going to have no pedal, 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 no pedal, and then the second beat, pedal, the third beat, new pedal, no pedal on the first beat, pedal on the second beat, pedal on the third beat, etc. The only thing that I wanted to add, because Elvira explained it very well, I think it's already quite clear to you what you have to do. The only thing that to me was that could be added was metronome, because you have, like, if you look at the second beat, at the second bar, if you play the right hand, you have a half note. So it's quite free in an interpretation when exactly is the second beat, when exactly is the third beat. I think if you add the metronome and practice with the metronome, that's going to give you an indication when you have to put your foot down for the second beat. The same is if you look at bar 3 of the left hand. If you play the left hand, you have a half note. Then don't leave it open to interpretation when the second beat is. Just hear it with the metronome. Let me pick up the metronome and I will just show you so you can see that. So here I have the metronome now. I set it on a random tempo, and it doesn't matter if you actually don't want to play this piece. It's just a very simple piece for teaching purposes. You don't have to play this piece, but just apply the same in all the classical pieces that you're going to play. No pedal, 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 no pedal, 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 etc. So you see that with the metronome, I can actually hear when exactly the second beat is. And you're not only training the independence, like we mentioned, of being able to put your foot down when the hand is playing, but also you are training with this your rhythm. So that would be wonderful if you do it with a metronome. And when you're ready, right and left hands separate, you can just, of course, you're going to do hands together, and you're going to do the same. You can do it with metronome or without metronome as well. And you will see that you will feel much more comfortable knowing you'll be much more aware of where your pedaling should be. Anyway, we're going to make more videos about this with different pieces. And if you have like a specific question, you can always ask us. We'll be happy to answer. I think this was all for today, right? Let's get back to our initial spot, the first spot where we started the video. And so, these were our tips. For us, it was a great pleasure offering them to you, and we know from experience that it's going to help. You just have to be patient and do what we just explained. Now, if you like the video, it would be great if you give us a like, and if you also subscribe to the channel, because as you know, in that way you're going to help our channel grow and we'll be able to reach more people. You can also follow us on Instagram. We try to upload there regularly, and we also created a Facebook page. There you can befriend us. Anyway, for us, recording this video was a great pleasure. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.